Hey, welcome ladies and gentlemen. It's your host Shane Guilford and you've joined us for round 3 of the V8 League of 2023 here at Entertainment Park in the headquarters. I've got exciting news. I've joined by one of our new commentators, Jacob Fraser. How are you going, Jacob?
I'm pretty good. I'm pretty excited to watch some racing tonight. Craig's looking pretty quick again as usual, so we should be seeing some good racing from him.
Yes, he's his actual championship leader and defending champion. So he's definitely still got it, and the other boys are trying to chase him at the moment as we're in quali with about 5.5 minutes to go. So we're just going to track now to show you boys where everyone's at. Craig Broadbent up front, as you said, Jacob, and Tokarev in P2 from Russia at the moment. Not too far behind, 6 100s just behind him.
Yeah, it is very close right now in the qualifying. It was very close in practice as well. I think it was about 1/1000th of a second between them.
Yeah, so definitely practice and pre-practice through the week. The times have been very quick. Eric Chandra from Indonesia is in P3, and another international, Ludwig Askinas from Lithuania, is in P4 at the moment. So the internationals really showing us how it's done. But just before we get to formalities, we'll bring up the season standings as it sits at the moment. And Jacob, Craig's up in P1 at the moment. We can see the scores there.
Yeah, I reckon tonight Craig's probably going to extend out that championship, but we can all hope that Vlad might be able to close it up a little bit. There's only 3 points between them, so could get a bit spicy.
Yeah, James Delaney is also with us tonight, which is good, and he's in P3 at the moment with number 33, so hopefully he can improve on that tonight. Matthew Collins, our championship sponsor from MJ Build, he's in P4. Let's see where Matt Collins is. Oh, back down in 7th at the moment. I know I would have nailed a good lap at the moment, but watch towards the end of the quali session and see him move up. But
Yeah.
another couple of drivers there, Scott Flack in the mellow yellow, Eric Chandra from Indonesia, James Spotto in 7, Ludwig Askinas, as we said, currently in P4 at the moment, is in 8, Braden Pritchard 9, and David Baker 10. So watch out for those names as we get started tonight. We've got 2 races, Jacob. The first one's 22 laps, and the second one's going to be double that, 44. Bit of an enduro round here.
Yeah, a little bit with the so few of corners. It's a real challenge to get some overtaking done, but with the longer second race, you might be able to see some overtakes being done, especially with it being reverse grid as well.
Yeah, so the second race will be reverse of the first race results. Usually we have reverse grid of the qualifying, but we want to give the guys who didn't get a good enough race the first in race 1 to try and prove themselves in the second race. And it also means, the faster guys who will be at the back, they'll have more time to get in a groove and settle in and try and attack the leaders.
Yeah, definitely. And we've just got Vlad that's just taken up first over Craig, so and he's going out for another lap again, so we might be able to see him push out that gap a bit further.
Yeah, we've got 2 minutes to go. I'll leave it with you, Jacob. And yeah, let's just have a look at those times there.
Yep, most certainly. With Vlad going out on his warm-up lap, I'll introduce myself a little bit. So I'm Jacob. I race in a few different leagues here on R Factor 2. I've got 1 race win to my name and a few podiums. Very good at rage quitting, to be honest. I'm not, but I'm trying to work on that a little bit. I've raced against a few of the people that are in this race. I've raced against James and Craig and a few others. But now, as we got Vlad going on to a flying lap, I'll be quiet and let you enjoy the noise.
Sector 1 is
and it's a very average lap. It doesn't look like it's going to be much of an improvement, but I hope you enjoyed the sights and sounds of that lap.
Yes, we're following Eric Chandra, our Indonesian driver who's been in all our races, very keen to get up front. As there is prize money, I forgot to mention, ladies and gentlemen at home, you can join us and race with us in the next round and earn some of the $100 prize money per race, per round I should say. So $50 will go to the winner of today's round, $30 to second and $20 to third. So each race is sponsored by, as we said before, Matt Collins from MJ Build. So very kind of him as he's in the pits making one position up on his quali. So it's very tight at the front. We can see the results there as some of the guys are still on their closing lap. Ludwig not going to improve on that. And it looks like Vlad's practicing a start off the line. Very smart indeed, checking the conditions there, Scotty Flack. All right, so we'll go to the results, Jacob.
Yep, rightio. So coming in in P1 is Vlad with a very quick time of a 50-second 6:49 lap, and then you got Craig in second, very close between them, only 7/1000ths of a second, and then you got Eric, and then you've got Ludwig. I think I'm saying that right.
Yeah, Ludwig. Yep.
Coming in fourth, very very good starting spot there. Sun right behind Craig on the inside. He might be able to do a bit of a dive bomb. Matt
Collins.
Matt doing a very good job there in P6. James is a bit further down than I would have expected him to be, especially being third currently in the Drivers' Championship. David, Frederick, James, all finishing up the top 10. Then you've got Jeff, Bradley Martin, Scotty J, Gordon Lee, and Troy and Scott
Fitzsimons in the second of the Ned cars. Scott Fitzsimons actually works for Ned, so he's about to fly out tomorrow to head to Barbagallo himself.
Oh, how about that? That's got some racing pedigree in the grid.
Yeah, so he's one of our main sponsors, and he's got his mug on TV a few times over the years. So maybe we'll see him represent Ned at Barbagallo on the weekend if you tune into the Supercars coverage on KO or Fox Sports. All right, we're going to
definitely.
Jacob, we're going to get the grid ready now, so we'll make sure the boys are ready to go, and then we'll get underway for race 1, 22 laps.
Sounds good.
All right, back after this commercial. Okay, welcome back. We're in race 1, 22 laps around this short circuit in Barbagallo. Very hot conditions in Perth, Jacob. Yeah, so just waiting for the grid to set now as we look through 16 drivers joining us tonight. We've got a few guys. That's a huge field up the back there. Look at that. All right, so back up the front. Oh, Craig Broadbent getting a great start ahead of Vlad Tokarev. So that qualifying is nullified as Craig's taken the lead into turn 1. Yeah, we've got an incident up the back here. I'll see if we can see what happened. I think it has something to do with Frederick Sarkis there, one of our newbies we watch here. Oh, someone locked up or come together there and is just affected on the inside, but we'll go backside as Broadbent's up the front. Still defending lap 1 already. Oh. It's giving Eric Chandra from Indonesia a good opportunity to move up the back. Oh, looks like Ludwig's dropped down the order somewhat. Maybe he's put on the wrong tyres for this race, but he's struggling at the back. So too James Delaney back in 8th at the moment. We're watching David Baker. We've got David Baker on driver cam, trying to chase down Ludwig Eskinas. Watch him go up the inside, but Ludwig's trying to close. Yeah. They managed to hold on, so great job from the two boys. Great job. Baker just settling in behind Delaney now. Broadbent still ahead of Tokarev up the front. Chandra very close behind, making it a three-way, but I don't know where to... the action's all over the track, so I can't really see. Oh, we've got Delaney Baker there, further up front. Yeah, definitely showing the pace, and you'll notice they're not actually utilising that ripple strip on the exit of the last turn there, so the guys are looking after their tyres, and through quali and practice they know where the track limits are, and it's very heavy on that section of the track, so they're well behaved, keeping within the limits there. Scott Flack further behind, just trying to now gain, and here comes Matt Collins, our series sponsor in the MJ Build livery. Oh, it's compacting up the front now. Broadbent, not so much a bottleneck, but it's really getting tighter up the front as it's a three. Well, he's definitely shown his talent over the races he's been in this year. Everyone's definitely prick their ears up and go, who's this Vlad guy? But to give you some background, Jacob, Vlad's one of the top 30 sim racers in the world, and he's raced with the likes of Louis Bonotto, or I forgot his name. But yeah, if you look at his results, he's in racing with the top F1 guys in the esports championship. So he's definitely no slow coach, and Craig Broadbound now championship defenders, definitely showing him how it's done. Less grip, less downforce, no ABS, no traction control. It's just raw inputs into the car, and these cars are about 1.5 tons at 300 kilometers an hour down the straight of Bathurst. Takes a lot to pull uppers. And we're coming up behind a lap driver already. I think that's Gordon Lee, who's given way to the drivers, which is a great job. Just got to hold his line and the other guys will make their way around. Chancher up into the mix now in the top 3. We'll go through James Delaney in 6 for Service Australia, coming around the back end. David Baker behind him. And that's James Spotto behind him. We've lost Ludwig. He's lost a few spots. He qualified up the front, but down in P9 at the moment. Something. Yeah. It might help him for the second race, but for now he's got to settle into P9. We've got Bradley Martin in the Martini livery there. Jeff Wynn, one of our series rookies. First race with us actually. They in the V8s. It was he did debut in the British touring car at Eastern Creek, and now they're back for V8. So totally different car to the front wheel drive little hatches, but they're loving it all the same. This is Frederick Sarkis right behind him now. Battling it out from Entertainment Park, another one of our rookies, but no stranger to sim racing as well. So these guys doing a great job in P11 and 12. Scotty J falling a little bit back there. Are you familiar with Scotty J, Jacob? Oh yeah. And that's from the Dust Series as well, so make sure you yeah. So Dust will be running their series on Saturday night, so make sure you tune in that as we see Troy Jaslowski going wide on the entry and the exit of last turn. They're hitting the wall. Upcoming Scott Fitzsimons, the other Ned driver in the Supercars livery there. And then Gordon Lee. Oh, Baker just locking up right in front. Here comes Ludwig. No, that's James Spotto. So that's 7, 8, and 9 there. So we go back up front. Craig Broadbent. Lap 8 only. It feels a lot longer than that, but they've still got a bit to go. Not even halfway now. Yeah, we're on board with Vlad at the moment, seeing how it's done from inboard, chasing down Craig Broadbent through the little windscreen that they've got. See, early braking point from Craig Broadbent, selling the car, and Vlad going in deep, but those tyres are going to burn at the front if he's going to keep doing that. So hopefully he can make those tyres last to the end of the race. You spend a lot more time just getting the car back on the track and nullifying any advantage of a late braking. And this race will definitely give them a good indication on how far those tyres are going to last for the next one, and that's the most important one, because 22 laps may induce a pit stop in this race. And with our series, there's no compulsory. I just usually means that the first race doesn't require one, but it depends how the guys treat their tyres. And what I should go to is show you who's selected softs and who's selected hards. And there you go, that's the table at the moment. So what's that, the top 8 on softs, and there it is, that explains it. Ludwig Askinas, one of the first guys on hards, really suffered in the opening laps, as you can see him dropping about 5 spots, which I can also bring up as well. Positions gained, and yeah, he's dropped 5 spots into P9. So you want wait till the latter stage of this race. You may see it come up there, Jacob. Well, he's definitely looking after the tyres, that's for sure. As we saw the early braking into that back corner, we're just seeing Matt Collins up into P4, and Blackie just going in sideways, just heavy braking on the front. Collins. Yeah. So we're watching Baker defending against Spotto here as we go to our driver focus. See the driver cam on the inside. Oh, suffered. He's left. Yeah, it's cost him a position. So I'll see if I can see his tyre wear because he's racing from Entertainment Park as well. So we've got 4 guys in racing. That's why we've got the camera on them. Wasn't a good time to cross to him. Probably a commentator's curse. We can see him locking up there, and that's probably what's costing him. Yes. Well, he's got the second Red Bull on his tail now. Oh, here he comes. Not sure if the guys at front are going to need tyres, but we're seeing someone drop off a bit. Well, Eric's dropped off a fair bit, just about a second and a half. Oh, he's going to be even more as he just clips the dirt there. He saved it enough to not really lose a lot of time, but Mac... Scott Fitzsimon's in the black of the neck car. Looks like Troy Cieslawski maybe. Yes, and he's just recovered and dropped back to 15 there. Go back up the front as Matt Collins is closing in on Eric Chandra after that little excursion into the dirt there. And Baker coming out, that's going to cost him. He's come out right in front of the leaders now. Let's see what tyres he put on. We'll just look at Baker, and he's rejoining P13 on soft. So might take him a while to get those warmed up. You can see the front rotors really hotting up there for Baker. They're red hot as the other guys aren't as bad. But on board with we're following Vlad from the outside circuit, and we're coming up to lap traffic as well. So this will be interesting.
Traffic changes the outcome of this race. Scotty J there getting out of the way in the Super Cheap Auto Mustang.
Yeah, Scotty J, I expected a bit more from him too, but he did come in late to the service, so we maybe a bit more practice. This track is as simple as it looks. It's not that easy, and it's all about tyre preservation.
Yeah, definitely. This track it's definitely a easy to learn, hard to master type track, and it's as Scotty J goes wide and into the wall again.
Oh, he's looped it as well.
And he's looped it as well. Oh, not the result he's going to have wanted tonight.
No, having a shocker tonight, to be honest. But go back up the front. I just noticed some of the audio we may have missed, but we're back on now. As Craig Broadbent defending against Vlad. Vlad's probably showing him now with 6 laps to go, like, okay, I mean business now, I'm still behind.
Giving him the bit of the hurry up. But because Craig's been preserving his tyres, he's probably got a bit more tyre life than Vlad does.
And that's one of Craig's specialties too, his ability to save those tyres and have enough meat at the end of the race to be able to defend or attack, depending on which one he needs to do. And the defending is what he's got to do right now, and he's only got 5 laps to keep it out there if he wants to take the race.
as we've got a bit of a battle going on between third and fourth. Eric's made it up into third, I believe.
Shows, yeah.
Oh, no, I think I'm looking at lap traffic there, sorry.
Yeah, that's Baker on his fresh tyres. He's actually overtaken these guys because they are struggling on the older ones, and Baker's got the fresher ones, but he's got to unlap himself. So, yeah, he's cutting through the field at the moment. So it's still Chandra and Collins in third and fourth. Starting to space out, James Delaney further back in sixth for Service Australia there.
Yeah, it's looking like the closest battle is actually between first and second. They're really toe-to-toe with each other, and the rest of the field's sort of giving each other enough space.
What is the closest and the exciting battle at the moment? We know this is going to develop closer towards the end with only 4 laps to go. We've seen only one pit stop, I think. That was from David Baker, so he really locked up those tyres, which cost him a lot of position. He's up in a P11 now. He's taken Jeff Wynn for P12 in the Penrite car.
Yeah, those soft tyres are definitely going to be helping, especially compared to old softs. The softs on these cars, they drop off a lot and you lose a lot of time.
Well, we just crossed to Jeff Wynn as he was facing the wrong way, and he's looped it back, so he's going to drop a couple of places there, but Scotty J's the next one to come through. But we saw him suffer a bit as well, so maybe he's further back there. Timesheet's showing 13 seconds, but you can see the gap right there. Ludwig Skinas in the second Red Bull is up in a P8, and Frederick Sarkis, he was involved in that turn 1 incident. He's moved his way back up into P9, 5 seconds behind the other second Red Bull there. Doing a great job.
That is a great recovery drive.
Very much so. Broadbent's starting to stretch away now. He's saved it. He's kept Vlad exactly where he wanted him. And at the moment he's now, I think, starting to put it down now. Use up those tyres. He knows he can't use them once the checkered flag's gone, so he's going to leave it all on the circuit for race 2.
Yep, now that he's only got 3 laps left, he's going to pull out as much as he can. I reckon we'll probably be seeing some quali laps here from Craig.
Well, the viewers down below can see the telemetry of the driver and the gear selection and the brake and accelerator application as well. So keep an eye on that, and it really shows you how these guys are getting around so quickly. Craig Broadbent's best lap today for this race is 51.7. Eric Chandra, the one with the PB, the fastest lap of the race so far with a 51.4. So they're all doing about 52, late 52s, early 53s. Still in impressive times for after 20 laps around here.
Yeah, definitely. And Craig's been keeping it consistent all race. He's just been hitting the mid 52s for the entire race, and that's really starting to show now that he's got all that tyre life saved, and he's just able to put the hammer down. He's now almost a second out.
Although Vlad, look at Vlad, that gap's not much. We've got 2 laps to go.
That gap just closed up in the last 3 corners. That is, Vlad's clearly got a lot of tyre life left as well. Here we are, last lap, and it's going to be, I reckon it's going to be a race to the finish here now that they've both put the hammer down.
Coming over the humps now, they've really got to settle that car in. It wants to push out on old tyres, using the rears now to get it up over the hill, but Craig's stretching that just in that section alone. You saw him disappear over the crest.
Yeah, Craig's Sector 1 pace is just, it's unmatchable here, I think.
They go through the next sector, we'll see 15.6 or 15.9. So he's pulled out half a second just in this lap, and he's about to come around and take the checkered flag as a penalty goes to Troy Jaslowski. They come across. Craig Broadbent checking the checkered flag. And that's Craig Broadbent, Vlad Tokarev, who's in third. Oh,
It's Eric.
just ahead of... Oh no, I'm confused now. That was Scott Flack, who I cannot see on the timing screen. P10 in the timing screen. So Scott must have... Okay, so we'll just go through the field. James Delaney crosses. James Spotto is crossing now. Ludwig just ahead of Baker. Baker almost getting the job, but that's not for position. As we've got Frederick Sarkis coming around, taking his first race for P8. Solid job from him. Bradley Martin.
Solid performance there as he locks the tyres after he goes over the line. Don't need those tyres anymore, so you might as well burn them up.
Yeah, it's unfortunate he got involved in that early incident and lock up on turn 1. Scott Flack coming through, but has he already crossed the line? Oh, I don't know if he needed to cross the line there, but Baker crossing. Looks like they're all got the checkered, so we'll go through and show up the results for you, Jacob.
Yep.
All right.
Yeah, well, first place was a really good drive tonight was Craig, and followed by Vlad, who also had a really good finish. They finished 10 seconds but away from third, and Eric was finishing in third there. And then we got Matt Collins, James Delaney, good result there, made up a few places. James Spotto, he also had a pretty good performance. Ludwig, he recovered fairly well. Frederick, he made up some good places as well, I believe. He's up a few spots from where he started. Bradley Martin, Scott Flack, David Baker. They all had some pretty good races. We got Scott and David. They're a lap down. Sorry, I'm falling over my own words. Jeff, Scotty, and Scott, they all finished pretty close to each other as well. And Troy and Gordon finish off the grid. Gordon must have DNF'd. Yeah, he DNF'd at the end there. Not sure what happened to him, but hopefully he'll be starting on pole in this second race. So hopefully he'll have some good racing there.
Yeah, he had a few spins there, so I think he gave up after a while just to refocus for the next race, which is about to come up, 44 laps. We're just recording the race results of race 1, and we'll set the grid for race 2. So make sure you stay tuned. We've got one race to go. We're coming back for 44 laps. So we'll be back after these messages.
Entertainment Park has so much to it.
And we are proud to announce that we have joined forces with this incredible place. They've got simulation cars.
You can choose your own car like a Formula One.
Or V8 Supercars, and you can choose your own track. I love the mountain. I'm king of the mountain. Not Mount Jewett, Mount Panorama.
Plus, there's an incredible go-kart track. No fumes, no smell.
And it's got a booster button too.
These booster buttons unlock a video game. They're real. I'll catch you. Beat your fastest lap. Challenge your friends.
Have a feed at the cafe with an unbelievable menu. What? Dessert, coffee, and of course, a fully licensed bar.
10-pin bowling, video games, skills testers, laughs, play area, chill out areas and lounges, DJs and fun music.
It's safe, friendly, and plenty of parking. But some people drive to the city for that.
That's stupid.
Book now at entertainmentpark.com.au. Not just for kids. Tahir, tell them about Entertainment Park.
Well, this place, it's like, it's...
My favourite place in the world!
The thing about this place is that
It's fun for all ages, no matter what your age. You'll love it.
what I really want to say about Entertainment Park is,
They have the best go-karts plus a great cafe. Games, bowling, simulation, but the go-karts, oh my God, they are so much fun.
look, thing is that this place is,
Perfect for my birthday party. Everyone said it was the best birthday party ever. Yeah!
what I really want to say about this place is,
Just say it!
it's a fully hectic, oh my God, venue.
Finally!
Entertainmentpark.com.au. And as Tahir says, it's hectic.
And oh my God.
Right, now remember, brake bias, tyres, fuel. Right, Jeff, remember, tyres, brake bias, fuel. What? No, no quality. You're just going doing warm up. We've got a 44 lap race coming up. So you might want to choose hards for this one or pit twice, depending on how good you are on the tyres. Get ready? We're going. Jacob, you got me? Scotty J's just left. I don't know if he's coming back or not. David Baker.
Sector 2 is yellow. Sector 1 is 0.9 off the pace. You're looking your right front going into turn 5.
All right, Scotty J's out for this one. When we cross, I'll bring up the starting grid and we can do alternative, or I'll start it, and then if I pause or you don't hear me, you take over, okay? Alright, so I'll just set it up now. So, okay, good luck. Send. Okay. Alright, Frederick, brake bias, fuel, tyres. Alright? You got 1 minute to set it up again. We're going. Yep, here we go. Not yet, hang on.
That's the end of the session. V11. 44 laps. That's all. Get ready.
Okay, we're going back, hang on. Okay, welcome back. It's race 2, and for this race it's Gordon Lee, Troy Jaslowski up front, behind him Scott Fitzsimons and Jeff Wynn in P4. Sarkis. Ludwig Askins will be in P9, James Spotto in 10, James Delaney 11, Matt Collins in 12. Oh, big launch from the back of the field and a bit squirrely from Gordon Lee. It's just settle down, they're off again. Oh, it's Baker that's got up the front there. Oh. Wow, that's probably the last time we'll reverse that grid. Frederick. It's up the front, it's David Baker out in front all by himself. Well, the front guys have already moved their way to the front already. It's an amazing job. Matt Collins, Eric Chantry in P2. That's Scott Flack in 4 there. Yeah, Broadbent. We're watching him trying to cut through the field. Ludwig, Vlad Tokarev, I should say, right behind him, as it was in race 1. Or one of the Penrights just going straight ahead there. Yeah, he crossed the line in P2 on lap 1, but from there it's all downhill, unfortunately. But I mean, that's experience and that's the pressure of having all the fast guys right behind you. David Baker taking the fastest lap of the race so far, 52.9, all by himself. It shows what a clean track can do. Track conditions are still good.
But as we can see, Matt Collins has already pulled that gap back down to a second, and then I reckon we might see a bit of a battle for first here in the next coming laps.
Matt Collins charging hard now, chasing Baker out in front. Two commentators tonight, yes, myself, Shane Guilford, and Jacob Fraser.
As Matt has actually pulled up that gap right up into 2/10. So we're going to see a battle right here, right now, I think. Top 3 have pulled away like in the last race. There is 2 seconds between 3rd and 4th, so we might see a 3-way battle for the lead until Craig can catch up.
See the different lines there. Matt Collins waiting for Baker to go wide as he was going to cut under, but Baker come back in. We could see that. Eric's just
I
licking
think
his...
we might see a dive here from Matt as well. He's looking left, he's looking right. Will he be able to make a move? Oh, as we go 3 wide into the last corner. They're biffing and barging. Shoulders are out, definitely, but it's all nice and clean on the back end of the track, so that's all good.
Chandra making advantage as well, going up the inside of turn 1. Baker just settling in now with Scott Flack right behind.
As we've got Craig in the background going for an overtake as well. Will he be able to keep it? Will it be able to stick?
Just on board with Eric Chandra looking back at David Baker, trying to stay with his rear bumper. But Eric showing a lot of pace on this track this evening.
Big lock up from David there as well. He locked it up big time. Hopefully that won't hurt the tyres too much. They're all on hards out the front here, so hopefully they'll be able to go a bit longer into the race before they have to make a stop. Oh, and as David gets a bit squirrely in the back end there in the last corner.
Just saw Broadbent going up the inside of James Spotto, and Vlad's again taking another position. Craig Broadbent just cutting through the field.
Craig already up to 4th after 6 laps. That's quite a drive here already, as we've got a car off on the track.
Yeah, that's James Spotto just getting caught up on the ripples on the change of elevation, and we just saw him spin off, rejoining into P10. It was up there. He's like P6 a second ago, but Baker, one of the front runners on hard tyres. The rest still on soft. So Baker's got to really nurse this car around the lap 22, lap 20. See if he can get the undercut for the final part of the race.
Yeah, definitely. And we can see that Baker is trying to make the hard tyres drive as fast as the softs, but he's just overdriving the car, and it's going to kill his performance towards the end of the stint.
I think he's feeling the pressure. He really wants to perform, and he keeps pushing, but it's all about just controlling the car, and what we said about Craig, really looking after those tyres is very key here.
Yeah, for sure. And Craig is right on the back of David here as well. He's probably going to make a dive here in the last corner. He's got so much more grip and so much more... He can position the car where he wants it, whenever he wants it.
Oh, Baker coming in early there.
Big dive bomb there, and is it going to stick? They're still side by side. They're going 3 wide into turn 1, 4 wide nearly because of a lapped car. And Craig gets through and into 3rd. Now he's going to put his eyes forward and go right for Eric.
Yeah, Vlad's following the wake that Craig's leaving, but Baker's just muscled him out, and Scott Flack's wanting to come in on that as well. So,
oh, contact between Vlad and David in the background there.
Baker going round, I can see. We'll see if we can go to a replay. And here we go, the two. This is a replay on what happened to Baker and Vlad on the outside on the change of direction.
On that change of elevation there as well, the banky goes from the out, pulling you away from the apex to pulling you in. As we also see one of the Ned's cards getting involved as well. Really unfortunate there between them.
Yeah, Baker just coming across Vlad's nose, and unfortunately Vlad couldn't do anything about it. Baker falling down to P13 now. Not happy with that one.
No, won't be quite the result he was looking for after being so far up the grid. And Craig is already within 3 seconds of the top 2. He's really closing that gap up, and Vlad has currently got the fastest lap as well. He managed to keep his P5 there. Very lucky with that.
Yes, he's only right behind Scotty Flack, which we should be watching now. This is Vlad working hard to wrestle these Australian big V8s. He's done a fantastic job at the start, opening couple of rounds. Probably struggling a little bit more on this one, or this race particular. as he's got more traffic to deal with.
Yeah, but that always makes it more fun, especially from a driver's perspective, trying to make your way up the grid. It's fun to start from the front and lead from the front, but it is also a lot of fun to come from the back and make your way up through the grid.
Have a look at this, Jacob. We've got Frederick Sarkis again involved in a lap 1 incident. We hit the grass early, lost a few spots as he started from P8. He's had to fight back and he's already up into P6, so fantastic job. And he's chasing the likes of Tokarev and Flack, one of our top 2 drivers in the sport. Scott Flack also races for a European Formula 1 team and has to get up like Monday morning, 4 o'clock to compete. As we've got Eric Chandra up the front now, right on the back of our leader, Matt Collins in the MJ build Ford Mustang.
Now he's just got to sit behind him until we get to that last corner. The last corner is probably his best bet at making an overtake here. As we can see Craig in the background as well, he's pulled that gap in very close, and the battling between these two is definitely going to help him close that gap up even further.
Yeah, this last corner onto the main straight is always the safest on tyres too, and that's what we're going to see on the weekend too. A lot of opportunity on the inside there, depending on tyre wear and tyre preservation. These guys look like they're on the same strategy, so this is a proper battle we're seeing, and the battle they're having is allowing, as you said, Broadbent to close up now. We'll go through the field as that one's battling on. Scott Flack in P4, and that's Vlad right behind him as well.
Yeah, Vlad is very close. He might make a move here into the sweeper of the back, on the back corner here. But I would say it's probably safer to just sort of sit behind him, keep it real close and tight to him, and then make a move on the last corner. As we've got lap traffic going out onto the dirt, trying to get out of the way.
Watch this. This is...
Just look out for the dive.
Yeah, here we go. Will Scott cover it? No, Scott breaks late.
Scott's going to outdo himself, though, and he's going to be getting the snap back on the back straight, on the front straight, I mean.
Yeah, he lost his momentum. He broke late, but he had to pull it up. So
contact as well. Ooh, a lot of contact there into the first corner. I didn't quite see what happened, but I believe Scott may have turned in on Vlad there a little bit. As Vlad goes around the outside, he's not going to have much grip out there, but he's closed the door in on Scott. What a brilliant fucking sorry for the language. What a brilliant overtake.
That's all right. The excitement's getting to you. Frederick Sarkis, the next one back, currently in P6, holding firm. James Delaney coming up behind Scott Fitzsimons, one of our lap traffic there. That's Ludwig Askinas, showing a lot of promise early on, and P8's been a good spot for him. He's always around his teammate James Spotto in P9, so very comparable lap times there. Bradley Martin currently in P10, the top 10. Gordon Lee doing a lot better this one in P11 so far.
Yeah, but not quite the result he would want to be finishing with, especially if he's with him starting right up at the start. He's dropped down 11 positions, not probably the worst drop off of this race, but Craig and Vlad definitely are making some ground. Although Craig has lost some
This is
he's not as close.
Yeah, he's dropped off a little bit. The gap's half a second there. But
I'd say he's probably just not wanting to get involved in this fight. He's just going to let them burn out their tyres, and then he'll make an overtake later on in the race.
Yeah, there's still 33 laps to go, so we're only on lap 15. I mean, there's still plenty of time to suss out. He can sit behind these guys and really judge where these two guys' strengths are, and where he can make his overtake, or he just waits for one to make a mistake and takes advantage of it.
Yeah, I'd say he's probably going to keep the pressure on the both of them, but not be too drastic with an overtake, and just sort of sit behind them until they wear out their tyres battling, or one of them goes into the pits, and then really put the hammer down on the other one and try and do the overcut.
Yeah. Broadbent might come up the inside. Oh no, he can't. I sure I was seeing Broadbent lining up the inside there, but Eric doing enough to hold it.
He was looking like he was going to go to the inside, but he might have just been getting some cool air into his engine just to try and keep the temps down, get the brakes
Yep.
enough air so that they're not overheating, so he can have the maximum amount of brake performance.
Enough downforce as well, so if he's sitting up behind them, he's going to burn up his fronts just trying to get the same amount of traction as he would half a second back. Because these cars don't really offer a lot of wash due to the lack of downforce that these cars have. So this is what makes these cars great to race close with. If you're in a Formula 1, you can never race this close. You're always worried about your downforce, but the V8s you can definitely see on screen. No issue here.
Yeah, definitely. There is definitely still aero wash though, I'll tell you that. Racing at Melbourne, these cars, they through fast corners, you don't have a chance of slipping up 21. As Craig goes down the inside, bit of contact, but he's going to hold it. But he gets chopped on the inside, but he straightens him out. That's a good way to avoid a penalty. Straighten out your opponent when you knock them.
Well, I mean, if you can see the car turning around and you can nudge the nose, point it in the right direction, then you're better off doing that, because he would have had to yield then if that was the case.
Well, from my perspective here, it was probably Eric turning in on Craig, not giving Craig the correct amount of racing room. So Craig sort of just held his line through that first corner, and Eric sort of chopped the nose on him.
Well, he's coming under threat from Vlad Tokarev, which is definitely going to get the run on him. I think Eric's got dirty tyres, and he's doing the same again, trying to come in early to protect that line, but he's lost the spot.
Yeah, I think one thing Eric's going to have to work on is when there's a car up beside him past his C-pillar, he's got to concede and give them the racing room.
Yeah, you got to pick your battles too. Like, we've got championship leader and defending champion coming up the inside with, up to the B-pillar at least. You got to say, look, let me get your exit, because the next corner was a left-hander. He could have just held it around the outside and taken that next corner, but that comes with experience as well.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, he's going to hit the dirt again. No, he's just pulled it up in time. Probably trying to move that brake bias, because now Scott Flack in P5 is up behind him.
Yeah, definitely the brake bias, and he's probably cooked his tires a bit as well, trying to salvage, get back up into first, and then when that wasn't a reality, he probably was racing real hard trying to keep Craig behind.
Just coming up behind Frederick Sarkis in P5, so P6. So the top five are lapped the whole field already, and we're just about halfway. So who do you think's going to come in first for their set of tyres?
I think it's probably going to be one of the guys that were racing up the front. It might be Eric, it might be Matt. I'm not entirely sure, because they've been racing real hard all race, where Craig, he's sort of just been cruising, just setting laps and slowly pulling it up.
He makes it look so easy, doesn't he?
He really does. He's one of the best drivers I've ever seen, that's for sure. He's definitely up there with the Dust Series champs and stuff. With up there with Wayne Walker and Stephen White. Yeah.
Oh, Tokarev TNF. So I'm not too sure what
happened there. We might have to get a bit of a replay there. Something might have happened. He might have got a connection issue, or could have just been he wrecked out.
Yeah, I can't tell if I'm live or not, but go back up the front to the leaders.
Yeah, by the looks of it, he's just had a connection issue.
That's unfortunate. Matt Collins diving into pit lane on lap 20.
Moving Craig up into first, and now Craig's probably really going to put the hammer down. He's going to put in some fast laps and try and get this overcut done.
Well, let's see that, because his last lap was a 53.7. These guys really saving their tyres towards the end of the stint there. And we'll see what lap time he drops on this one. Or he may even come straight into the pits on this next lap, knowing that Matt Collins is out there on fresh tyres. busting a few quick laps and advancing that lead.
Yeah, this is all part of the strategy. You gotta be really fast on your feet, thinking about, well, how fast is he going to be able to set some laps, and how fast can I set some laps still?
Yep, Collins coming out of the pits now, rejoining in
And
P6.
Craig does not pit. He's going for another lap.
So he stays out. Maybe a couple of clean laps for him is what he wants as he crossed the line with a 52.8. So he put almost a full second on his previous lap there. So you're right.
As we got a car, Ned's car flipping in the background. I believe it was Troy.
Yeah, Troy Jaslowski in the Ned car. I heard it in the background. See if we can see what happened here.
I think he just went up over a curb and he's just flipped it. Yeah, he's gone a bit too aggressive on the curbing on
Center
the
of
first
gravity
corner,
issues.
and he's just sent it all over.
Yeah, not game over for him, but he's back on track still in P15.
As Vlad's actually returned, he's now down into 14th.
Broadbent into the pits now.
Broadbent's coming in.
And where is
Matt? He's just about to go through the last, the sweeping corner. So let's see where Craig will come out here, as he actually locks up the tires a little bit going into that corner, missing the apex. That's not going to help his tire life too much, but
you can see.
Craig's on his way out now. Let's see where the rejoin is.
Follow. Oh, he's pushing Matt Collins.
Ooh.
So slow exit for Broadbent. We can see the difference. Here it comes, Matt Collins.
Here it comes. I think they might be side by side here.
Yep.
No, Craig gets out in front. Those 2 laps out in fresh air have really helped Craig. Now he's pulled out a half a second gap in the pit stop sequence.
Collins on warmer tyres. We'll see if he can hold him, as Collins is trying everything he can. He's closed a little bit there. This back section is where he'll make the gap, because Broadbent on cold tyres down this downhill section. He's managed to either move the brake bias forward a bit just for that corner. And they fly away down the back straight. Chandra in the pits now, so he's in right on lap 24, going for the overcut. So let's see if that comes to fruition towards the end of the race. Scotty Flack's still out there. See if we can see who's pitted and who hasn't. The front 2 is Scott Flack and Ludwig Askinas. And then it's Broadbent, the first of our pitters, ahead of Collins and Chandra. Then Delaney gets a pit as well. He's going quite long on his set of tyres. Maybe he's on hards actually. Let's go see what tyres they're on. And Collins has gone to hards for his second stint. Big call.
That might be the wrong move, I think, because the fuel loads will definitely be lighter now, so those soft tires are definitely going to be working a lot easier in this second half of the race. But we'll see how it goes, because maybe he'll have more tire life towards the end of the race than Craig, and he'll be able to make a move and just sort of put in some quick laps and finish with a few seconds in hand.
Yeah, so just to explain everyone at home, this is a fixed setup, so there's not much you can change, and there's no fuel consumption through this. So the fuel loads stay the same as long as they've dumped the fuel before the start of the race, before they grid up, then that's the fuel load they'll keep. But still, the track temperatures will affect it as well. So maybe Matt said to himself, look, I couldn't push as hard as I wanted to because these softs were not getting me further up into the stint. So we're seeing green sectors all over, with obviously everyone pitting now for tyres. Frederick Sarkis still in P6, Delaney moving up a spot there, and that's Sarkis behind him. Doing what he can. I can see him relaxing the hands here at Entertainment Park headquarters on our full motion simulators.
Yeah, but as we can see, Craig is pulling out that gap now, especially when it's a soft tyre v hard tyre. It's definitely going to, in the early part of the stint, it's definitely going to help him, but if he pushes too hard, it will really hurt him in the back end.
Yeah. Eric Chandra coming out, firing on all 8 cylinders with a 51 flat. Fastest lap of the race so far. Look at the insides. they're not locking up. He's balanced that really well. He's on fresh tyres too. About 2 laps old now. Doing a fantastic job. He's closing the gap. Just watch that space. He's 4 seconds behind Collins, and Collins just over a second now behind Broadbent.
We might see a bit of a battle between Eric and Craig here again, coming towards the end of the race. With 5 seconds to make up, and if he's quick about it, he might be able to get there just before the flag.
I've just noticed Vlad Tokarev is back in the race, so you're right, it could have been connection issues. Now he's got a bit of work to do as he's in P14. Probably going to cost him. Usually we see him in the top 3 collecting some cash, but maybe not so for this race, for this round, as Broadbent's still out front.
This will really hurt him. He won't be happy about this, especially finishing second in the championship currently. This is going to really hurt his championship as well. It's going to give Craig, if he finishes in first, a massive margin.
Yeah, the thing with Vlad, he is racing all the way from Russia. He's not Russian, racing from Australia, so his ping's quite high. But because it's not really an issue for us here. He's allowed to stay in the series. But with that dropout, maybe that's affected by the high ping here. R-Factor is very good for keeping you on track as much as it can. One of the strongest ones in that regard with all the platforms. So ultimately, if you drop out, you're definitely falling behind in netcode.
Yeah, definitely. He's currently 2 laps down, so I don't think he's going to be able to make up any places unless we get a red flag. But I doubt that we'll see that happen.
It's a race for position now. Scotty Flack on the inside of Frederick Sarkis. That's for P5. He gets the job done, and off he goes. Sarkis remembers our rookie, very first race with us tonight, battling on our full motion simulators, SimWorks V2 and direct drive steering wheel, and a full V8 size sequential shifter. Worth about $50,000 each simulator here. We've got 8 simulators. You can join us if you ever want to join in the next race. It'll be, I think, the British Touring Cars, but we'll check that out at the end of the race. See Baker coming in.
And how would one go about booking and getting into the simulators and
into
stuff?
The series? So you just get on our Discord, which is in the description below. You'll see on our live stream. There's a Discord link. Get in there, register, and we'll look after the rest. Give you all the details, help you to get up to speed and get into these series. Good community we're building up here with SimHaus, so yeah, make sure you do join, subscribe, and like the YouTube page and our Facebook and Instagram socials as well. Entertainment Park and SimHaus. You'll see the scrolling up the top there. Just follow those links and get on board. We're located in Bankstown in New South Wales, so if you're local, definitely jump in and we'll look after you, get you all set up on our simulators and get up to speed. James Spotto's dropped out as well. Early DNF for him. So unfortunate.
Yeah, that is quite unfortunate. He was going really well. He was up into the top 10, I believe. Here in the second race, he was really fighting up towards the front this time. But yeah, really unfortunate. Hopefully, he'll come back in the next race and be pushing even harder and trying to go for a win or something.
Yeah. So James Delaney in P4 there. Scott Flack. Oh, got a lap driver in between. That may be Gordon Lee. No, Gordon's in the pit, so that's Jeff Wynn in the Penrite behind him. He's in P11. So Sarkis in 6. Ludwig. Oh, he's got Vlad Tokarev behind him. That's not for position. Ludwig in P7 at the moment. Bradley Martin crossing the line on lap 32.
And Craig has just pulled out a massive gap now. He's got a 4-second gap. I don't think anyone's going to be able to stop him here at this point with 14 laps left to go.
No, that's an unsaleable lead, but that means Collins probably something happened to him. Because he's got Chandler right on his tail, and they're coming up behind lap traffic. And as he moves over, lets the battle continue. Great racecraft from these drivers, knowing that you've got to give way, and this is a battle that's going to take us to the end. Although Eric's got the inside run down the main straight.
Eric got a very...
They come together. Collins tried to come over, I think.
Oh, and Collins actually saves it. He manages to save it and keeps on going. What a great save there from Collins.
We'll see if we can go back and find out what happened there.
Yeah, so it looks
Got
like Matt might have moved. Yeah, he moved across real aggressive there, trying to block real hard. And
yeah, not the best move from Matt Collins there, trying to protect the line. Maybe he saw him last second.
Yeah, it didn't help him real well. It sent him off, but it didn't send Eric anyway. He just continued on. And now he's on a march towards Craig, trying to catch up before the end of this race.
So that's Matt Collins dropping down a P. What's saying P3, but what is P3? So Matt Collins
he's
still
got James right behind him. James might be able to move up here into the podiums if he can play his cards right. Matt just DNF'd.
You know what that could be? That could be the wheel disconnecting or something there, because that was a very aggressive hook to the right there. We're just replaying now, seeing what happens, see if we can see what's going on. No,
it just dropped out. It seems like we might be having a few network connection issues here.
I might go tonight. I'll go and we go back to the leader out in front. He's got a 6-second lead now ahead of Chandra. Oh no.
Yeah, so as we can see, Craig he's just pulling out a gap further and further. He's got a 6-second gap at the moment, but with Eric also on soft tyres, he's going to be pushing real hard, but that may hurt him in the long run, coming towards the end of the race with only 10 laps left to go. I don't know if he's going to be able to make it up and still have tyres left.
No, that's a long way to come back now. That name will fall further down the field in P9, but has he rejoined? I can't see anything on the server side, so looks like he's stuck in P9 at the moment. The other drivers have got to unlap themselves from that position, and this is a battle going on now. That's Gordon Lee, and we've got that's Vlad Tokarev. Oh, that is for position, because Tokarev, I'm not used to seeing him up there, but yes, that's Tokarev coming up into the top 10 now.
Ludwig got a bit of a tap there coming into the last corner. He's not going to be too happy about that, I can tell you that.
Yeah. Jeff Wynn, one of our rookies here at Entertainment Park, is circulating up into P10 now as he unlaps himself from Matt Collins. Fortunately, I can hear that Gordon Lee's got a pit lane penalty, which he's tried to serve a couple of times. He's been caught speeding in pit lane, so he's had to come through the lane a couple of times now. It's costing him a lot.
Yeah, you got to be real careful with coming into the pits in R Factor 2, because it does not have any leniency. If you're over the speed limit by even a second for half a second, it'll penalise you.
On screen now, we've got Flack chasing James Delaney. I was about to say James Broadbent, but that's not. Wouldn't be right.
Yeah, I feel like this might be a bit of a battle we'll be seeing right on to the end as well. They seem very evenly matched here tonight.
Yeah, they're both lapping in the early 53s, so you can see Scott definitely closing, and he's trying to get in the draft down the main straight, down the back straight, I should say. In the last corner, another lap driver in front. That's Bradley Martin just ahead.
As he gets out of the way, really good with the lap drivers. They're very quick to get out of the way. It's really good to see. Sometimes especially on online racing, when it's not a league, you really struggle to get around your lap cars.
Yeah, good spatial awareness too. I mean, you've got to know in your mirrors that you're getting it. The drivers do get a blue flag handed to them digitally, and they've just got to make sure that they obey those within reason. If they stay within the blue flag zone and they don't give way, then they will cop a penalty. You've either got to race yourself out of that zone or just let the drivers through. This is the closest race on the track so far.
Yeah, definitely. As Craig is just continuing to pull out a gap now. He's nearly 8 seconds clear of Eric. He's just continuing to put in fast laps, and I don't think Eric's going to be able to catch up at this point. They're probably going to be running some very lonely races up the front.
He's trying everything he can to sit behind. We've got 5 laps left in the race. Broadbent with a 8-second gap over Chandra, and a further 6 seconds back to Delaney in P3. But Flack and Delaney, well, this is what we're watching at the moment. We're on board with Scott Flack.
Will we see him move? He's looking like he's setting up. He's getting real close to him. Is he going to move? He makes a move, but he brakes a bit earlier than James does, and it doesn't mean that the battle is over. It just means that it continues on into the next lap.
Oh, here we go. Turn 1 up the inside. No, he looked it. He showed it. James too smart for that one.
Now what Scott's going to have to do is he's just going to have to sit right on his rear bumper right around into the last corner and then make a massive dive for it right at the very end.
So we just see the huge shadow of the Vegemite hot air balloon across the track there. Look at Flack closing in on the back of Delaney. Deep braking zone. Delaney pulling out 3rd gear on the back corner, up over the hill, up into 6th gear. Down into the heavy brakes. Black coming, but not enough. We've got another.
That back corner, you've really got to be good at your trail braking, because you can't brake heavy into it because you'll just understeer. From the way the corner is banked, it's banked against the apex instead of it going in. So you've got to really be careful on the throttle and on the braking there, otherwise you'll just slide out.
Yeah, absolutely. There's another battle brewing. And this is Frederick Sarkis against James Fotto. No, that's Ludwig Askinas, our Lithuanian driver, chasing down our man in Bankstown, Frederick Sarkis. Oh. Frederick nice and smooth, holding the inside line. And that's Bradley Martin just off the side there. Just rejoining on the exit of that turn. So it's another battle. I wish I could show you 2 battles at the same time. I'll probably work on that for future broadcasts. But for now, I'm just going to have to flick back between because there's only 3 laps to go. It's the main battle for P3.
I feel like this battle might go right down to the wire. They might even end up going side by side right across the line here. If they keep battling as close as they are, they haven't really pulled out even half a second from each other. They're just so close to each other at the moment.
Yeah, the lap times very similar, just a blink between the two. Eric Chandra, oh, here we go. Can this be a move on the inside? He's going to lower it. He's going to show it. No, he's pulled back into line. You know that he lost momentum before trying to defend, but he didn't have enough to get up, but he's only got 2 laps to get the job done. We're on lap 42 now.
Yeah, Scott, I think he's burnt out his tyres and he doesn't want to make a risky move that he could potentially lock his tyres up. So he wants to make the move and he's probably knows he's faster, but he just can't quite get up far enough beside James to make the move stick.
Oh, I just heard Frederick wince. Not too sure what's happening there. I must be watching a replay. Oh, he spun out. So we're on lap 43. So unfortunately, Frederick just lost the spot to Ludwig. So that's battles over. And Flack and Delaney. Black's got Delaney. This is a battle. Watch this. This is awesome. Here we go
Oh,
on the inside.
Scott actually made the move, and James is now trying to fight back and try and get back into it. Oh, as they make a bit of contact there. That's going to kill both their momentums down the back straight. Who's going to have the better momentum coming into this last corner? Is James going to be able to make that move back, and is he going to be able to get back up onto the podium?
It looks like James doesn't have enough to get. Oh, we've got, yes. Got some back markers now. Craig Broadbent out in front on his last lap. So we'll keep an eye on that as he's circulating. Chandra out on his own for P2. But for the third step of the podium, oh, we almost... Oh.
Bit of lap traffic there got in the way of James, so that's probably killed all of James's hopes of being able to retake that last podium position.
Yeah, we've still got a couple of corners to go, and he's still there this corner. And we've got another lap car up front, so this may bring them all together. Yeah,
James is really pushing always. He gets a bit sideways there. Is that going to kill him? But it's not quite all, but he goes on the exit. He's put the foot down a bit too much, and that's killed it. And with Craig with a dominant performance here in the second race, 10 seconds up the road from Eric.
All right, so this is last corner. We've got P1 and P2 sorted, and a Scott Flack that holds out for James Delaney for P3 and 4. Ludwig Askinas coming around the last corner for P5. Congratulations to him. One of his best results here for the V8 series. He'll be happy with that one. And he had a good result in race 1 as well. Frederick Sarkis, excellent job at P8 and now at P6. Could have been a P5, but wasn't to be. Brings it home for P6. David Baker has already got the checkered flag, so looks like...
right up until P7 was all a lap down. It's just how dominant Craig was tonight in this second race. He nearly lapped the entire field.
Absolute stellar performance from Craig Broadbent, and here are the race results. It's Craig.
Right.
Yep, go.
Well, yep. So Craig, Eric, and Scott, they take up the podium positions, and you got James in P4.
Ludwig Askinas and Frederick Sarkis, as we saw, battling on right towards the end, taking 5th and 6th. David Baker in 7. Bradley Martin in P8.
Vlad and Jeff finishing off the top 10. Then you got Scott and Troy. They're the P11 and P12. Really good performances there from them. Gordon Lee, really unfortunate for him. He starting from first and coming right down to P13. Not really the result he would have wanted, but it's still a good result. It's still some points on the board, which is always good.
Yeah, and very important to nail every result. Just bank those points towards the end of the championship. As we saw, it's very important as it gets down to the nitty-gritty towards the end of the season. So that concludes the 2 races here at Barbagallo, Wanneroo in Perth. And for the guys watching at home, make sure you tune in or even join us for the next round. And that'll be Simmons Plains. That'll be on the 17th of May. Always the Wednesday before the main race. So make sure you tune in or get on board, get on the Discord in the description down below. Make sure you're part of the action next race at Simmons Plains. That's going to be quite tricky as well. If you thought Barbagallo was a tight track, wait till we go to Tasmania on the other side of the country, as that's a hell of a track to race on. And if you're a fan of the stream, make sure you like and subscribe. The next race for the British Touring Cars will be, where is it? Will be at Brands Hatch on the 3rd of May, so make sure you tune into that. And if you want to, we have a Champions League as well, and that'll be the NASCARs on the 24th of May, and that'll be NASCAR at Texas. We're looking forward to that one. Our last one was at Daytona, but that was a flat-out sprint. At Texas, you really have to nurture these tyres as you did here at Perth. So there are 3 championship leagues that we run this year. Make sure you tune in for those. And thank you very much, Jacob. Appreciate you expert commentary with us tonight, and
No worries.
we hope to see you on the next one. And make sure the guys at home tune in as well, as Jacob Fraser and myself, Shane Guilford, have been your hosts, and thanks for joining us, and we hope to see you on the next one. Until then, good night.
Tahi, tell them about Entertainment Park.
Well, this place, it's like, it's...
My favourite place in the world!
The thing about this place is that
It's fun for all ages, no matter what your age. You'll love it.
what I really want to say about Entertainment Park is,
They have the best go-karts plus a great cafe. Games, bowling, simulation, but the go-karts, oh my God, they are so much fun.
look, thing is that this place is,
Perfect for my birthday party. Everyone said it was the best birthday party ever. Yeah!
what I really want to say about this place is,
Just say it!
it's a fully hectic, oh my God, venue.
Finally!
Entertainmentpark.com.au. And as Tahi says, it's hectic.
And oh my God.